Penguin Random House Audio presents If Not For My Baby by Kate Golden. Read for you by Ellie Gossage and Eric Nolan. To Jack. The songs only affect me the way that they do because of the love I've known with you. And to the broadcast channel, you know who you are. We did this thing together. Chapter 1. Devoting your entire life to the pursuit of another person, when human beings are also inherently flawed, and expecting said flawed human to fix all the broken parts of you just so you can convince yourself that you're whole, is a recipe for disappointment. I reach for another chip and dunk it halfway into the salsa. In fairness, it used to make a lot more sense. Once upon a time, a woman needed a romantic partner to guarantee a roof over her head, or to put food on the table. And men needed a wife to produce an heir for their cobbling business or kingdom or whatever. Things are different now, you know? It's kind of antiquated. I pop the chip into my mouth. Only then do I notice the wide-eyed disbelief splattered all over the face of the man sitting in the booth across from me. His perfectly gelled hair doesn't move as he takes a slow sip of water through his straw. Mariachi music plays too loudly throughout the restaurant, and embarrassment begins to creep up my neck. You think love is antiquated? I finish chewing, trying to find the right words. I think striving for a relationship above all else is antiquated. It seems pretty hard to find one worth keeping. And even if you're lucky enough to do so, you're still going to suffer one way or another. There are just less painful pursuits in life, don't you think? Yeah. He leans back in an attempt to subtly check the time via the phone in his pocket. I see what you're saying. I sigh. Hair gel and I are not going to be a match. It's okay, Hank. Henry? Henry! I cringe. I knew that. Look, Henry, I can tell you aren't feeling this, and that's completely fine. I'm happy to just call it now. Henry, not Hank, narrows his well-trimmed eyebrows at me. Call it? Yeah, you know, like a doctor calling time of death. I mime feeling my own pulse and make a yikes face. Henry nods like he understands, but I can tell that he does not. In fact, yeah. He thinks I'm the worst. Seriously, I'd love to finish these enchiladas in peace before I have to go back to my shift. No hard feelings at all if you want to skedaddle. Nonplussed, Henry slides his phone and keys back into his pockets and begins to scoot ungracefully out of the booth. In his defense, there may not be a graceful way to do that. Then he halts mid-scoot. You said you were a waitress. You scheduled our first date at the restaurant where you work, in the middle of your shift? I falter for words, mouth half filled with enchilada. Henry bumps his knee a little too hard on the underside of the table as he stands. He winces, and I wince too, out of second-hand phantom pain. Here, he says, tossing 2 20s onto the table. No. I push the money back toward him, swallowing my bite. It's practically free with my employee discount. Henry doesn't find that as altruistic as I mean it to be. He leaves the $40 where it lays and walks off in a huff, nearly slamming into 2 young boys barreling toward the bathroom from the birthday party table. Excellent. Another successful date for Clementine Clark. A voice calls out to the young, exuberant boys. Hey, no running! I peer behind me and spot Mike. His dusty blonde hair is sticking out at odd angles, and there are purplish bags under his eyes. For someone who wanted this promotion, he's been totally overwhelmed. I don't know what he expected. The Happy Tortilla is the best fast casual Tex-Mex spot in Cherry Grove. It's literally only empty when we're closed. All right, fun police. I dig back into my dinner. I probably have these chicken enchiladas twice a week and never tire of the comfort food. Normally, I'd need them extra badly after a failed date, but tonight is a magnificent Ladybird Playhouse night, so I'm not taking the rejection too hard. If they get hurt, Mike says, sliding into the red vinyl booth across from me with a grunt. We could be held liable. Ooh, liable. Such manager speak. Hey, he laughs. I'm your boss now. You have rice in your hair, boss. Mike swats at his head. Date didn't go so well? I'm not talking about it with you. Me? Mike steals a chip from the plastic bowl between us. I knew you when you thought barbecue meant there would be Barbies involved. We were 4. That's my point. What was wrong with Mr. Apple Watch? But Mike knows I'm not going to tell him anything about my date. It's one of our few no-go topics. And not just because he's my ex, even though that was in high school, or because we still sleep together on occasion. It's because I know Mike is no better than my mom. They both hope one day I'll shed my cynic cocoon and reveal myself as a love-struck little butterfly, fluttering into the arms of some upper-middle-class suitor. Maybe I should have told Henry that. Hey, I'm really just here to assure my mom that I won't suffer her same miserable fate. Spring wedding? Come on, Clementine, spill. He wasn't a dog person. Ah, Mike nods, satisfied. The kiss of death. The sound of high-pitched squealing rolls through the restaurant, and I glance up just in time to see the 2 little boys take a nasty tumble onto the carpeted floor. Instant crying. Mike sighs. His eyes hold very little will to live. I got it, I laugh. Finish my enchiladas? Gladly, he says with a look of profound appreciation. I throw on my red apron, drop Henry's anger 20s in the tip jar, and get back to work. The pharmacy is nearly closed by the time I'm off shift. A killer 80s track is playing inside, and I bop my head to the majestically synthy beat until I find Lou behind the counter. I have to bribe him with free dog walks for his Siberian Husky to let me pick up my mom's cyclobenzaprine. But I secure the goods, and a new carton of ice cream to boot. By the time I'm home, I can hear Mulder and Scully blaring before I even close the front door. Marathon still going? I call out. I drop my keys in our cow-shaped tray and toe off my boots by the hand-painted, garden-themed shoe rack. A smile pulls at my cheeks at the familiar peeling paint and tiny capped mushrooms. My mom and I never had a specific vision for our home. We just know when something is Dianentine, a mashup of our names we invented to describe anything we both loved. A bright yellow, banana-shaped ceramic vase that holds flowers in both ends? Dianentine. Tie-dye dinner napkins? Dianentine. A needle point-stitched pillow on the couch that reads, FBI's Most Unwanted? Dianentine. That one especially. We've watched every season of The X-Files together at least 3 times. Hurry! My mom's voice drifts up from the basement. It's the Frankenstein one! He's about to ask her to dance! I'm coming, I call, pawing through the pint-packed freezer for my most recent half-eaten carton of Ben & Jerry's fish food and grabbing a soda from the fridge. Does Willow have her bone? No, she yells. Can you grab it? I double back to grab our dog's favorite Y-shaped bone from her bed. With all my goodies in tow, I scramble down to the basement and find my mom on the couch with Willow curled up beside her. Citrus hangs heavy in the air from candles that must have been lit for hours. How was work? She asks, eyes still on the TV. My heart squeezes in my chest. I can tell just by her voice that my mom's fibro is acting up. Her usually bright eyes are a bit dulled, her shiny blonde hair tied into a loose knot behind her. She's kneading her shoulder absently, as if it's been bothering her all day. The usual. No need to tell her about my failed date. Frankly, that should be considered part of the usual. I hand her the meds and soda and watch her down them in one fell swoop like the pro she is. Then I give Willow her bone, making a mental note to cut her bangs soon. Our sheepdog's name is a pretty good indication of how her hair falls over her eyes. I wonder if she can even see the rawhide she's currently shoving into her mouth. I kiss her on the head and instantly release a high-pitched sneeze. Willow doesn't flinch. For the love of God, you were just at the pharmacy and you didn't pick up any allergy meds? Those are like $30.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?